What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Argue. I'm your host, It's Just Antonio. You already know the mission, the assignment. Go ahead and drop that hashtag. I'm outside. Let's argue. Whether you're tuning in from YouTube or Facebook, go ahead and drop that in the comment channel for me. Man, to my people in the D, like shout out. Let's hope that Detroit can go ahead and pull it out. If anybody know the score, go ahead and drop that score in there so we can, so I can keep abreast of what's going on. Hopefully Detroit pull it out. I think they were leading going into halftime. So shout out to the Detroit Pistons. Let's hope they can go ahead and spank the New York Knicks. Go ahead and take this to a game 7. We need this in the D, right? So we got a couple different topics. Well, one topic that we're going to discuss in particular today. Question is, who's leading? Do women really want men to lead? So I got a couple videos I'm going to play. Guys, give me drop your comments, your thoughts. Let me know what you think about just 2 different videos, and they're both related to leading. And you give me your opinions. One of these I kind of watched before, and the other one I haven't quite watched all the way through. So we're going to some of this we're going to be seeing together. But again, you guys already know the assignment. Hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Drop that in the comments for me. Also, don't forget to drop the score. Let me know what the score is of the game. I know a lot of people tuning in, so we might have some low viewers today, but that's okay. We got to keep it moving, right? Drop the score in the chat window for me. So let's go ahead and play the first video. Also, before I move on, we know we play games on this show. Normally we do lyrically correct. This time we're gonna do urban trivia. Okay, we're gonna do urban trivia today. I'll still leave you guys the link for the lyrically correct game. Matter of fact, let me do that now. Let me see if I can find that for you. Oh, where is that at? Here we go. Let me drop that in here for you. Here's the link, and let me get you the code. So we all about them discounts, right? Wherever we can get them at, especially in this day and age, right? With everything going on, there's the code. Go ahead and drop that, and go to that website, put in that code, and you're going to get a discount off the game. The game is great. Like, I love the game. I love playing it with you guys. I think everybody else likes it as well. But anyway, let's get on with the subject at hand here. And again, the topic is about who's leading. How should you lead? What does that lead look like? I think the general conception is, of course, men. We are the leaders. We should be leading. But how does that lead look? How do you receive that lead? Ladies, are you even allowing us to lead? What does that lead feel like? What are you basing that on? Is this subjective, objective, as far as the lead is concerned? I think that one of the things that stands out to me when we talking about leading and men leading and how to properly lead, my question is, where are women getting their cues from when they talk about men leading? You can't tell me what my experience is as a man any more than I can tell you what your experience is as a woman. So how do we show up? What are you basing the leadership principles on? How I should be leading? Is it biblically based? Because everybody don't follow the Bible or don't believe. So I myself personally do. I'm just saying everybody don't necessarily base it off that. Are you basing it off your uncle Ronnie? How he did with your mama or your auntie or your granddad? What are you basing your leadership principles on as a woman? How do you say a man should lead? What are you basing that on? And are you even of the mindset to be led? Are you open to being led by your man or a man, period? But let's go ahead and play some of the video clips and you guys give me your thoughts and let me know what you think.
Who I'm with or what I'm doing is for me to
Even
know.
if you're in where I'm at,
Don't ask me who I'm with. Don't ask me what I'm doing. Are you the leader in this relationship? No, I'm the leader in this relationship. Wherever I'm at, who I'm with, or what I'm doing is for me to
Even
know.
if you're in a relationship?
Yes.
What if they do it to you?
I am your leader. I need to know. I am here to protect and provide
That
for you.
sounds
I don't like no shit
slavery.
like
The point that I'm making is it's expected on the woman's end to tell the whereabouts, but it's not expected on the man's end.
It sounds so sweet.
Who I'm with, listen, it sounds so sneaky because you got past traumas and you trying to put that on me.
And you're right.
Don't put your insecurities
You're right.
on me. So
right.
if that man is your protector and your provider, guess what? He is your law. There's no other law but him. Are you my protector? You're not my protector. So for me to get out of the norm and tell you where I'm at, who I'm with, and what I'm doing, I would be yielding to you, and you would be the leader, and you would be my protector. But guess what? You're thinking that the man should tell you his whereabouts because if you peel the layer back, you don't really trust your man. You can't protect your man, and it's not your job to protect your man. So what would be the other reason? The thing is, if we reverse it, it's no insecurities from our part. Our job is to protect you. So we need to know where you at, what you doing, and who you with. But it's not your duty. So guess what? You women need to know your role and play your role.
Wow. All right. So there were a couple things there we can peel back the layers as he was talking about. Maybe that might not be a good topic. I mean, maybe a good title for this. Do women want men to lead? Because I heard a lot about protection, and women should definitely tell men where they are because we're your protectors, we're the leaders. Me doing the opposite of that, like she said, yielding to you, giving you that. I think women play a different role when it comes to protection and leadership, in my opinion. In the traditional sense, no, they're not our leaders. You guys are not our leaders. You're not our protectors. But I do believe that you do provide some sense of protection and some sense, for lack of a better word, leadership. And what I mean by that is, um, maybe you're not protecting us in the traditional sense that we looking at protection is physical and maybe getting busy in the street or whatever, protecting you from physical harm. But I believe that you guys protect us in spiritually. And what I mean by when you got a praying woman or wife who's constantly praying, that's protection. When you have a woman or wife who is making sure the home is taken care of, and there's not things that you need to take care of around the house or inside the house because we normally take care of stuff outside of the house, then I think that's also a form of protection. If she's making sure your kids are taken care of and they're properly nurtured, while of course I believe that's both parties' job, that's also a form of protection. Give me your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think that women also provide forms of protection? Maybe not in the traditional sense that men normally provide protection, but I do believe women provide some protection. And the biggest thing that comes to mind for me is a praying woman or a praying wife who constantly prays over her family on a regular basis, like prays for the success not only of her husband but her kids, the entire family. That is a form of protection, probably one of the best forms of protection, if you ask me, speaking spiritually anyway, that she constantly prays. So when he talks about protection and the woman not necessarily, and the man not necessarily yielding to his woman and telling her where his whereabouts is, that is the woman's responsibility to let him know where she's at all. Let him know where she's at all time, because it's his job to know that because he's providing protection. Um, Again, I do believe that women provide some form of protection, just not in the general sense that we look at protection as men. But give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think. And I want to play the video again because there's some other stuff that I want to kind of break down again. Give me 1 second. Let's go ahead and put this.
If I'm out, don't ask me where I'm at. Don't ask me who I'm with. Don't ask me what I'm doing. Are you the leader in this relationship? No, I'm the leader in this relationship. Wherever I'm at,
Okay, now that part right there, I definitely disagree with the brother on about. I think is, and we did another video on transparency. I think the woman said she prefers transparency over, she said, the transparency over honesty. Meaning that if I'm out somewhere to say, hey, babe, I'm out with the fellas, we going to the bar. Um, Say my boy Malcolm is bringing his girl. I'm being transparent, as opposed to me saying, because I didn't quite understand this. I'm like, why do I got to be transparent if I'm telling you where I'm at? However, women prefer transparency over honesty or truth. I think that's how it is. I might be getting it mixed up, but anyway, women prefer transparency. So as opposed to me telling you, hey, I'm out with the fellas, and yeah, you know all my boys, but one of my boys is meeting his girl. One of his girls is gonna show up at the bar as well. That's me completely being transparent, as opposed to me saying, hey, I'm hanging out with the fellas. I wasn't completely transparent about what it is I'm doing. My position was, why do I need to tell you about that somebody else is bringing their girl to a location where he's meeting, say, his friend at a location where all me and the boys are going to be hanging out at? Women say they prefer transparency. That being said, with this particular video clip that we're playing, the guy was talking about, you don't need to ask me where I'm at, what I'm doing, or who I'm with. But you being my woman or my wife, you need to tell me those things. As me being your provider and your protector, it is your responsibility to tell me that. I give a little pushback on that. I think when you have a trusting relationship and it's not so much about you yielding to your woman or your wife, it's just about just being transparent and saying, hey, I'm gonna be here or there, letting her know, like, hey, this is where I'm gonna be. And just for the sake of, let's say something happened. So the police come and say, hey, what was his last known whereabouts? You don't know because he didn't tell you, because you know what I'm saying? So I just think, and it's not something that has to be done all the time. Like, I need to let you know every time I'm leaving the house, or I'm going to the barbershop, or I'm running to the grocery store, or I'm doing whatever it is. Like, I don't think that always needs to be the case. However, I don't find that there should be anything wrong with checking in with your significant other, saying, hey, every now and then, hey, what's going on? I ain't seen you all day. What's up? Where you at? What you doing? And that just goes for both parties. And while there are some women out there who can provide that kind of protection, like, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna come and bring that drama if there's something going on. So it to me, it's just that door swings both ways. Now, women can't necessarily provide the protection in the traditional sense that we're thinking of, but I do believe women also provide protection. But anyway, let me continue to play the video clip.
Who I'm with or what I'm doing is for me to
Even
know.
if you're in a relationship?
Yes.
What if they do it to you?
Ooh, shoot,
I
didn't even have
am
a mic
your
here.
leader. I need to know.
Hopefully y'all
I
heard
am
me.
here to protect and provide
That
for you.
sounds
I don't like no shit
slavery.
like
The point that I'm making
said it
is
sound like a
it's
slave
expected on the woman's end to tell the whereabouts, but it's not expected on the man's end.
It sounds so sneaky.
Who I'm with, listen, it sounds so sneaky because you got past traumas and you trying to put that on me.
And you're right.
Don't put your insecurities
You're right.
on me. So
You're right.
if that man is your protector and
And the thing is with this, I think that door swings both ways. And I have to constantly remind myself of this as well. That door swings both ways. Men have insecurities and past traumas they're dealing with as well. I am not responsible, and I agree with them. You can't put that on me, especially if I wasn't the one that caused those traumas or those insecurities. You can't necessarily put that on me, but I can help aid you. If I'm your partner, I should be able to help assist in helping you with that, but you got to do the work. You have to do the work. That the work has to come from you. But let's finish playing the clip.
your provider, guess what? He is your law. There's no other law but him. Are you my protector? You're not my protector. So for me to get out of the norm and tell you where I'm at, who I'm with, and what I'm doing, I would be yielding to you, and you would be the leader, and you would be my protector. But guess
So that part right there, like I said, the door swings both ways, and I don't think men quite understand and get that. Like those doors swing both ways. Women are not necessarily sitting by and being passive. Now they don't have to. And I think we all kind of coming into a new sense of how we engage one another as couples, right? When we're in a committed relationship. It's not about you yielding, me yielding to you, because in some senses I do have to yield to you as my wife, as my woman. I do have to yield to you. I do have to give you a space where you have a voice. To me, the way he's presenting this, and he may not mean it this way, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But the way he's presenting this, the way I'm in this context, it's like it's almost like his woman or his wife wouldn't have a voice with him, and that's just not fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not in the 1970s or 1960s. So women want to be able to have a voice, of space where they can say what they need to say. But again, I always have to balance it with that door swings both ways. I've heard some women say they don't like it, the fact that men are speaking up or speaking out now. Like, that's just insane to me, that women want to go back to the days where some women do. Want to go back to the days where men don't have a voice. It's the happy wife, happy life thing. No, we're not doing that anymore. Any more than women want to go back to the a time and place where they didn't have a voice. So the door swings both ways. We have to both give each other that space to be able to communicate with one another and express your concerns or whatever is going on, right? So let's just go ahead and finish playing this clip.
Guess what? You're thinking that the man should tell you his whereabouts, because if you peel the layer back, you don't really trust your man. You can't protect your man, and it's not your job to protect your man. So what would be the other reason? The thing is, if we reverse it, it's no insecurities from our part. Our job is to protect you. So we need to know where you at, what you doing, and who you with. But it's not your duty. So guess what? You women need to know your role and play your role.
And again, I agree with him in part. It is our job to protect you, but that's just like let's I'm gonna look at it like this. You're in a situation that there's something's maybe about to go down. I got a gun, you got a gun. What difference do it make if you pull yours first and shoot me? You know what I'm saying? But what I mean by that, I'm not gonna always be there to protect you. So I'm a little confused about that the woman, and I'm not saying that she shouldn't always let her man know where she's at, who she's with, or what she's doing. But again, I gotta balance that with that door swings both ways. Especially if women want transparency, they like transparency, then it's incumbent upon me to also give you that as well. Like, hey, let you know what I'm at, who I'm with, and what I'm doing. And again, this is subjective. It doesn't mean this is something that has to happen consistently always across the board. But I think when you have trust, and that door trust swings both ways, that you meet somewhere in the middle, and that's just something that just happens. You just kind of do it without thinking about it. I don't every time I leave the house be like, oh, hey, I'm going here. I'm going X, Y, and Z. Like today I went and got my hair cut. I told my wife, yeah, I'm about to go get my hair cut, or I'm about to go to the gym. She may or may not have been listening because she works from home. So she may or may not have been listening. But there have been times at which there was today where I walked out of the house because I had something I had to go do. I didn't say anything. She was back there doing what she was doing. But I think you have that when you have trust and you have that you're in that comfortable space in your relationship where some of these things are they organically happen. You don't have to ask, you don't have to probe, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, we talked about this before on another show where we talked about transparency, how women want transparency. That's being transparent. Like you saying, hey, I'm with the fellas. Oh, what you doing? And you're not necessarily asking what you doing. Oh, or you even calling and checking in with your spouse and saying, hey, what's going on? What's up with you? Oh, nothing. I'm at the house, but I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I'm with so-and-so. I'll be home a little later. So she won't have to worry about. And I think when you look at it from a traditional sense, no, women can't provide the same kind of protection that a man provides. But when you're comfortable in your relationship and you have that trust, I don't see there's anything wrong with yielding, if you want to use that word. I don't I push back on that. I think it has a negative connotation. But when you are able to communicate with your significant other and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and be transparent, it just lends to that sense of being comfortable in your relationship, and not where, hey, I'm wearing the drawers and it's what I say and that's how it is, like it's not that. It's just being, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just being, right now, all I can think of is being transparent and just being, again, knowing that the relationship it's a two-way street. If you want this, then I expect you to give the same to me in return. So let's play the video one more time. Oh, don't forget hashtag I'm outside, let's argue. Drop that in the chat window. If you like the topic today, also drop that in the chat window. Let's see here. Yeah, drop that in the chat window. If you're tuning in from Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and drop that in the chat window. I'm going to play the other video so you can see, because there's two different perspectives here on leadership. How women want men to lead. Do they want men to lead? What does that look like? What does leadership look like for women? I feel like we discussed this almost ad nauseum, but it bears repeating because we need to know, because I think that's something that just keeps coming up. Men don't know how to lead. Women don't know how to receive leadership. What does that look like? But we are playing urban trivia today instead of lyrically correct. But I did drop that in the chat window for you, so you can go ahead and go over to that website and get the discount for lyrically correct. All right. So let's go ahead and play. We're not at the halfway point yet, but I'm going to play the other video just so I can get some feedback from you all on that video. And we're going to do lyrically correct. I'm just trying to straighten up the cards here. Anybody who's watching the Piston game, please drop the score. Let me know what the score is. What quarter we in? How are the Pistons doing? And if you're from New York, I'm sorry, not sorry, but I'm from the D, so I got to represent Detroit, and we want the Pistons to pull us out, take it to a game 7, right, baby? All right, where we at? Let's do the other video real quick.
And to lead, or do they want to control how he leads?
Most women want women out of men because that's what they relate to the best.
Wait,
And most men want men out of women because that's what they relate to the best. Unfortunately, most women that are unaware or entitled women, the way that they want their men to show up is how they would want them to show up, because they haven't released control, because they're actually still very much inside of their masculine. So as an example, and oftentimes men pull women out of their feminine into their masculine, and women want to pull men out of their masculine into their feminine. They want them to feel, they want to know all of the things, because femininity ultimately is always testing for, do you love me? Do you appreciate me? Are you here? Are you present? It's all a test. A perfect example of, let's say, a man and a woman. Femininity does not keep track of anything. Femininity very much lives in the now. Masculinity lives based off of the track, right? What has been said or done in the past. So as an example, let's say that a man wants to lead and he's been doing a perfect job at leading. But the moment that he's not able to do that, she's like, oh my God, does he love me? Am I safe? What's going to happen? What's going on? We're disconnected. All of these things are happening because she feels the now. Whereas he is very much like, I've been paying every bill. I've been showing up powerfully, but something happened and now there's a change. Look at my track record. And so what happens is he gets upset with her because he's like, don't you see all the stuff that I've done in the past? Instead of meeting her where she's at. True leadership is able to see that feminine energy is overreacting and saying, baby, I can understand that this is scary right now. And I'm really sorry that you feel that way. And I'm going to figure this out. But this is what has to happen right now. So instead of now, when you say, don't you see that I did the whatever? Now you're pulling her into her masculine. Oh, well, no, I don't see it. And you don't want to hear about before. I want to hear about right now. So I think when people understand that femininity lives in the now and masculinity almost lives via track record, both are trying to pull each other into something that they're not. So most women say that they want their man to lead, but don't feel comfortable to give it to him. That's just the reality for most people.
Yeah.
Men want women to be logical. Women want their men to be emotional.
Right.
And that goes against the nature of who we are.
Of course.
Honestly, for me, I feel like I'm far more logical than I am emotional, which is why I don't take things personal. Femininity takes things personal because everything is in the now. You said you were going to pick up the kids, and now I have to go pick up the kids and get dinner. It's like, dang, I'm taking everything personal. Logic says, you know what? You forgot. I understand that you forgot. It's not your fault. You've had a long day. I've had a long day. I'm frustrated. You're frustrated. Let's make it better together. But most women are not logical. They're emotional.
Right.
We're wired that
All right, tell me, do y'all agree with what the sister said? She mentioned a lot of things there. I'm gonna be honest with you. This whole feminine energy, masculine energy, and like I just think there's energy, and to me, it's either negative or positive. This whole feminine energy stuff, I'm not so much. It's this new school of thought or this new buzzword, these new buzzwords about being in your feminine energy, being in your masculine energy. I'm just thinking it's either you giving off good energy or you're not, and maybe it's considered feminine energy if it's coming from a female, and it's considered masculine energy if it's coming from a male. My personal take on it is if it's energy, is energy. If you're as a man giving me energy, bad energy, it's just energy. If you're a woman giving me energy, it's just you're giving me bad energy or you're giving me good energy. I don't necessarily buy into this. Oh, you're feminine energy, you're masculine energy. And I mean, now we can get into whether you're, heterosexual or, gay or and all that other stuff. That's different. And I'm saying it's only different in a sense because then we'll start to put title on, if he's gay, then that's the energy that he's giving off. But again, I don't care what your how you identify as. Energy is energy. It's either going to be negative or it's going to be positive. I don't think energy has a gender. Personally, it may be specific to the gender that it's coming from, but to me, energy is energy, and it's either going to be negative or it's going to be positive. But getting back to what she was referring to in the video, I do believe that women are emotional. Not all women, but most women are emotional. Men are more logical. So we don't necessarily, and I think that's where we bump heads. But that also makes us uniquely different in the sense that that's how we see things. And I think we balance when you understand that. And I think she made this point. I think when you understand that women are emotional and women understand that men are logical, when you truly understand that and not caught up, because I believe that men can get caught up in their emotions as well, just like I believe women can be, and those roles can be reversed. And I don't think it has anything to do with feminine energy or masculine energy. I just think that when those roles are reversed, women may be thinking logically about something that men may be in their emotion about. I'm trying to think of an example. Case in point, let's say a man loses his job. So his ability to provide financially has slipped away from him. Now, a woman could be thinking logically in the sense that, hey, okay, don't worry about it. We're going to get through it. We got some stuff that we've done. A man can be emotional because a minute we're thinking about that's how we're defined as a man through what we're able to provide. We done got a little bit emotional and not necessarily thinking logically. Not saying that we won't be thinking logically, but I think in that particular example that I just gave, we might be a little emotional in that regard. So I believe those roles can reverse depending on the situation. That a woman can think logically and a man can be in his emotion. It doesn't mean that he makes him any less of a man because he's thinking from an emotional standpoint. He just happened to be emotional. Does that make him a less of a man if he's in his emotions about losing a loved one, somebody close to him? No, it doesn't make him any less of a man because he's thinking he's in his emotions about somebody that he just lost any more than it would make a woman a man or in her masculine energy because she's thinking logically about something that her man might not be able to see because he's in his emotions. So it's just a matter of depending on what the situation is that though either party, either male or female, can be in either one of those spaces at any given time. All right. So I'm gonna play the video clip one more time. You guys give me your thoughts on it. Go ahead and leave your comments below.
Out of women.
Wait.
Because that's what they relate to the best.
Do women truly want men to lead, or do they want to control how he leads?
Most women want women out of men because that's what they relate to the best.
Wait.
And most men want men out of women because that's what they relate to the best. Unfortunately, most women that are unaware or entitled.
Now that part about men want men out of women and women want women out of men. I'm not quite for sure what she meant by that, and I have to get pushback on that. No, I don't think we want men out of women. As men, we want men out of women because that's what while we do relate to men, I think that when we explain things as if when we get ready to explain some things to our significant other, she may not get it often. But if we explain the exact same scenario to our male friends, then they may get it because they are men. But I don't think we want men out of our women any more than I think women want women out of their men. It's just all about being able to try to do what you can to understand where they're coming from and being open to that conversation. It doesn't mean I get pushback on that because I don't think men want a man out of their woman any more than I think a woman wants a woman out of their man. Do they want us to be able to understand where they're coming from? Yes, and just like we want them to understand where we're coming from, but I don't think that it's necessarily that we want a man out of them. And I think we both parties have the capacity to understand where the other person is coming from if you allow yourself to be open to receive the information that's being sent to you, and hopefully not being judgmental and just being open to receive it. Now, whether you understand it or not, I think just merely listening to your partner goes a long way. And that's for either party. I don't care if you're a man and you think logically, and if you're a woman, you think emotionally. Just knowing that the other person is listening to you and hearing you goes a long way, regardless to what your gender is and how you're thinking, whether it's emotional or logically. If the other person is open to listening and hearing what you have to say, that goes a long way.
Women, the way that they want their men to show up is how they would want them to show up because they haven't released control because they're actually still very much inside of their masculine. So as an example, and oftentimes
what up, Mike?
Men pull women out of their feminine into their masculine, and women want to pull men out of their masculine into their feminine. They want them to feel, they want to know all of the things because femininity ultimately is always testing for, do you love me? Do you appreciate me? Are you here? Are you present? It's all a test. A perfect example of, let's say, a man and a woman. Femininity does not keep track of anything. Femininity very much lives in the now. Masculinity lives based off of the track, right? What has been said or done in the past. So as an example, let's say that a man wants to lead and he's been doing a perfect job at leading. But the moment that he's not able to do that, she's like, oh my God, does he love me? Am I safe? What's going to happen? What's going on? We're disconnected. All of these things are happening because she feels the now. Whereas he is very much like, I've been paying every bill. I've been showing up powerfully, but something happened and now there's a change. Look at my track record. And so what happens is he gets upset with her because he's like, don't you see all the stuff that I've done in the past? Instead of meeting her where she's at. True leadership is able to see that feminine energy is overreacting and saying, baby, I can understand that this is scary right now. And I'm really sorry that you feel that way. And I'm going to figure this out. But this is what has to happen right now. So instead of now, when you say, don't you see that I did the whatever? Now you're pulling her into her masculine. Oh, well, no, I don't see it. And I don't want to hear about before. I want to hear about right now. So I think when people understand that femininity lives in the now and masculinity almost lives via track record, both are trying to pull each other into something that they're not. So most women say that they want their man to lead, but don't feel comfortable to give it to him. That's just the reality for most people.
Yeah.
Men want women to be logical. Women want their men to be emotional.
Right.
And that goes against the nature of who we are.
Of course.
Honestly, for me, I feel like I'm far more logical than I am emotional, which is why I don't take things personal. Femininity takes things personal because everything is in the now. You said you were going to pick up the kids, and now I have to go pick up the kids and get dinner. It's like, dang, I'm taking everything personal. Logic says, you know what? You forgot. I understand that you forgot. It's not your fault. You've had a long day. I've had a long day. I'm frustrated. You're frustrated. Let's make it better together. But most women are not logical. They're emotional.
Right.
We're wired that way. Men out of women.
Wait.
And I agree. Women are wired a certain way. Men are wired a certain way. Again, like I stated earlier, what's up, Mike? Don't forget hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Drop that in the chat window. Thanks for tuning in. Hey man, if you're watching the game, do me a favor. Tell me what the score is. Drop the score of the Pistons game. Pistons playing New York. We at home in Detroit. So the New York is in Detroit. Go ahead and drop the score for me, man, in the chat window. But to what she was saying, like I said earlier, I don't believe in this whole masculine energy, feminine energy, and all that. Energy is energy. It's either going to be positive, it's going to be negative. It's going to be contrary, or it's not. It's going to be some hateration, or it's not. It's going to be some hateration or some celebration. I know you in Tampa, but I want to know what the score is. You're not watching the game? I know you in Florida, bro. Just if you happen to know the score of the game, put it in the chat window for me. Just let me know what the score of the game is. But tell me, what do you think about the subject matter that we're talking about today? Not on here. Okay. What do you think about the subject matter today? Do you think that the sister has a point? Do you think there's a such thing as masculine energy, feminine energy, and do women really want men to lead? Like, what does leadership look like to you in your opinion? What does that look like? How do you show up as a leader? Yeah, tell me, how do you show up as a leader? Oh, and also, y'all see my new ink here, baby? Yeah. So this is a more Andinka African ink that I got. So I got matching, trying to get my sleeve together here. It's God, protection, prosperity, and God, protection, prosperity, and protection. Yeah. So yeah, let me know. What do you think? What's your opinion on the subject matter today? Do women really want men to lead? What does that leadership look like? How you want your man to show up? What are you basing that off of? Your uncle, your dad, your grandfather? What are you basing that off of? How he treated your grandmother, your auntie, your sister, your mom? Like, what are you basing that off of? Let's see here. 101.9. Oh, New York is up. Come on, Detroit. Okay. What's your take though, Mike, on this subject matter? How do you think we as men should show up for our women? What does that look like? How are you showing up as a leader for your wife? All right, so let's do some from the game. We haven't done anything. Let me go ahead and get that out. All right. Multiple choice question here. According to Tommy on the show Martin, what does GTD stand for? According to Tommy on the show Martin, what does GTD stand for? A, got the digits. B, going to date. C, going the distance. Or D, got the draws. Got them draws, dog. Yep, got the draws is the answer. All right, here's the next one. Multiple choice. David Joyner is the black actor behind which childhood show? David Joyner is the black actor behind which childhood show? A, Sonic the Hedgehog. B, Captain Planet. C, Barney. Or D, Gargoyles. Read that one more time. David Joyner is the black actor behind which childhood show? A, Sonic the Hedgehog. B, Captain Planet. C, Barney. Or D, Gargoyles. Nope, you're wrong. The answer is Barney. Barney is the answer. I need your black card, Mike. Turn it in, brother. All right. On the movie Friday, what was Smokey's mama's name? On the movie Friday, what was Smokey's mama name? A. Joanne, B. Pamela, C. Deborah, or D. Arlene? I'm gonna give you a second. C. Nah, man, you got it wrong again, bro. It's A. Joanne. A. Joanne. All right, here's the next one. Kyla Pratt starred in which hit UPN TV show? Kyla Pratt starred in which hit UPN TV show? A. The Parkers, B. One on One, C. Homeboys in Outer Space, or D. Cuts? Kyla Pratt starred in which hit UPN TV show? A. The Parkers, B. One on One, C. Homeboys in Outer Space, or D. Cuts? B is right. B is right. All right, Mike. Okay. You redeem yourself, brother. Here's the next one. According to the show Atlanta, what was the rapper Drake's nationality? Excuse me. According to the show Atlanta, what was the rapper Drake's nationality? A. Mexican, B. Canadian, C. American, or D. Panamanian? Let me read the question one more time. According to the show Atlanta, what was the rapper Drake's nationality? A. Mexican, B. Canadian, C. American, or D. Panamanian? B. Canadian. No, that is true. That is Drake's nationality, but on the show he was considered a Mexican. He was considered a Mexican. All right. What does WAP stand for? W-A-P. A. Worship and praise. B. Wireless access point. C. Waffles and pancakes. Or D. None of the above. What up, Mo? Thanks for tuning in, bro. Don't forget, y'all know, fellas, I need y'all to you understand the assignment. Hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Drop that in the chat window. D, it is none of the above. That is correct. Hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Drop that in the chat window, fellas. All right, here's the next question. On the show Proud Family, who was the voice of Wizard Kelly? On the show Proud Family, who was the voice of Wizard Kelly? A. Ari Spears, B. Arsenio Hall, D. John Amos, C. John Amos, or D. Cedric the Entertainer. Mo, you are absolutely right on the last question. It is wet ass Punani. All right. On the show Proud Family, who was the voice of Wizard Kelly? Mike, I'm gonna fight you, brother. Had not you put the word hashtag I'm outside. Hashtag the little pound symbol that go over the number 3, hashtag and the words I'm outside. You didn't just put hashtag I'm outside. All right. On the show Proud Family, who was the voice of Wizard Kelly? A. Ari Spears, B. Arsenio Hall, C. John Amos, or D. Cedric the Entertainer? Anybody? Anybody? Ari Spears is the answer. All right, Mo. So you just tuned it in, brother. So the subject matter today is: do women really want men to lead? I'm gonna go back because we kind of getting close to the end. I'm gonna play both video clips and I want to get your feedback on it. Don't forget, guys, as long after the show ends, you can continue the conversation, keep it going, share with your family and friends, bring everybody else in, have a conversation about it on the side without me. I don't care, but let me know. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Mo says, I love your show, man. I want to invite you for a simulcast. We both go live. Absolutely. Let's do it, bro. I'm definitely with it. Let's do it. Whenever you're ready. I generally go on Fridays. I'm sorry, on Thursdays, but just let me know. I'm definitely down for that collab, bro, for sure. Let's help you. Let's collab and help each other out. Mines do. All right, so let's play both videos. Let me know what you think, Mo. I definitely want to get your feedback on this one.
If I'm out, don't ask me where I'm at. Don't ask me who I'm with. Don't ask me what I'm doing. Are you the leader in this relationship? No, I'm the leader in this relationship. Wherever I'm at, who I'm with, or what I'm doing is for me to
Even
know.
if you're in a relationship?
Yes.
What if they do it to you?
I am your leader. I need to know. I am here to protect and provide
That
for you.
sounds
I don't like no shit
slavery.
like that.
The point that I'm making is it's expected on the woman's end to tell the whereabouts, but it's not expected on the man's end.
It sounds so sneaky.
Who I'm with, listen, it sounds so sneaky because you got past traumas and you trying to put that on me.
And you're right.
Don't put your insecurities
You're right.
on me. So
You're right.
if that man is your
I have to say something about that though. The part that he was talking about, you putting your past traumas on me. And while I do believe that it is not my responsibility to address your past traumas, it is my responsibility to not do what I can to help perpetuate those past traumas, to do what I can. But I go back to what I said earlier. If you know you have some trauma, mental health is real. Get you some help. You have to do the work to get that part done. It's my job as part of you being your provider and your protector and the law, as he says, to help you through that in any way that I can. But it's not my job to address it or even help you fix it. That's your job. You have to do the work. Just like it would be my job if there's traumas on my part. And it's my job to fix it and to get myself through it. It's your job as my helpmate to help facilitate that and that process in any way that you can. But when he was saying that it's not my job, it's not your job it's not my job to tell you all that. See, and that right there is adding to whatever previous trauma that she may have had. If that was one of the things that she's dealt with, say she had a man that she trusted, and then all of a sudden now he did something to violate that trust. Now that's just added to whatever trauma that she was already having. You're adding to that by not giving her what she needs in order to get through that. If she's doing the work, again, I don't think there's anything wrong with a man saying, hey, when he's leaving the house, hey, babe, I'm about to leave and go to the barbershop. Whatever it is he's about to do. It's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that needs to be something that needs to happen every time you leave the house. On the flip side, there's nothing wrong with doing it as well. But I don't think if there's nothing wrong with a man saying, hey, I'm about to go out with the fellas or whatever it is. Like we also have to understand, and this goes for really for men, but both parties need to understand the door swings both ways. It always has. We're now just coming into the realization and understanding that that door does swing both ways. That's so. Let's see. Mo says, you can ask me. He sound dumb. Nothing at all wrong with it. I agree, bro. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, to me, I don't care if you're a woman with past traumas or not. If your man told you that, oh, I don't gonna need to tell you where I'm at, what I'm doing, and who I'm with. To me, that make it sound like you're on some BS. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be so much on your masculine square that you're not even willing to. He used the word yield. I think that's a negative connotation, but and I'm just going to use the word submit to your woman in that way to say, yo, like, it's okay. We have to understand and get to the point, get to the position and understand that doors swing both ways. They always have. I just think women are definitely coming to the realization, like, if y'all can do it, we can do it too. I'm not saying the society going to look not going to frown upon it, but if y'all can do it, we can do it too. There's always been a double standard that men have. There was certain rules for men and there's certain rules for women. I think some of these things, some of these conversations we have, the debate is going to go on into the end of time. The only person that's going to be able to settle it is Jesus. But until then, we're gonna have these debates back and forth, and it makes for interesting conversation. It makes, excuse me, it makes good for social media. It makes good for going viral, depending on what it is. But these conversations are going to go on, and we're going to have them into the end of time. Mo says, I give her the same respect I expect. Exactly. And that's exactly what I was trying to say earlier, Mo. We need to give our woman the same respect that we want her to give us, and vice versa. They need to give us the same respect that they want us to give them. And I think for the most part, women do that. You know, I think we talked about this on one of my other shows, transparency versus, I think the woman said honesty. I think that's what she said. I wish I can find that video. However, my thing is, if I'm telling you honestly where I'm going, why do I need to be transparent? I think it was honesty versus transparency. If I'm telling you where I'm going, why do I need to be transparent about the details of what it is I'm doing? That's that's the part that didn't quite make sense to me then. It makes a little sense to me now. I'm not saying I'm 100% on board with it, but if I'm telling you, hey, me, Mo, and Mike we about to go out, why do I need to also say, and this was my argument then, why do I also need to say me, Mo, and Mike about to head out? We about to meet up at the bar, but Mo bringing his girl, or Mo meeting one of his some girl he met on a dating app gonna be there too. Why do I need to say that? That's not my thing. Why I gotta tell Mo's business? But women saying they want transparency, that's being transparent, as opposed to just being honest. Like, I didn't lie to you. I failed to give you all the intimate details about something that was going on with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But that's what women say that they want. Now, the flip side of that, and this is going into another conversation, are women as transparent with us as they want us to be with them? That's my question. Are women as transparent with us as they want us to be with them? So, but that's the fundamental. So let me play the other video, fellas. Let me finish playing this one.
Protector and your provider. Guess what? He is your law. There's no other law but him. Are you my protector? You're not my protector. So for me to get out of the norm and tell you where I'm at, who I'm with, and what I'm doing, I would be yielding to you, and you would be the leader, and you would be my protector. But guess what? You're thinking that the man should.
I just want to stop right there. That part right there really, that part right there really bothers me. Him saying, because him telling his woman or being transparent with his woman about what he's doing, who he's with, or where he's going means I'm yielding to you, means you're the leader. That's not what leadership is. That is not what leadership is. A good leader is transparent, is informing his team what's going on, so they know what the playbook is, know what we're doing, where we're going, what are the, you know what I'm saying? Like, a good leader would do that. Because some people want to know, me, myself, I always want to know what the why behind something to help me fully understand it. You know what I'm saying? So him making a comment, me telling you about where I'm going, what I'm doing, and who I'm with means me yielding to you, and means that you're the leader. That's not what leadership is. That's not what leadership looks like. That's not what leadership feels like. And it's not. And a man standing in that position is going, for the most part, is going to always get pushback from his woman, especially a woman who's confident about who she is and, about who she is. That's going to get pushback every time. When you do that and you take that stance, that sounds like, and even this is me coming from a man, like, you on some BS. Like, you really going to stand in that position, like, in that space, I ain't got to tell you nothing about what's going on with me. Yeah. So.
Could tell you his whereabouts, because if you peel the layer back, you don't really trust your man. You can't protect your man, and it's not your job to protect your man. So what would be the other reason? The thing is, if we reverse it, it's no insecurities from our part. Our job is to protect you. So we need to know where you at, what you doing, and who you with. But it's not your duty. So guess what? You women need to know your role and play your role.
All right. So, like I said, he made some good points, but then there were some other plays where I felt like he was just going about to ride right off the cliff. All right, let's play this now.
They relate to the best.
Do women truly want men to lead, or do they want to control how he leads?
Most women want women out of men because that's what they relate to the best.
Wait,
And most men want men out of women because that's what they relate to the best. Unfortunately, most women that are unaware or entitled women, the way that they want their men to show up is how they would want them to show up because they haven't released control because they're actually still very much inside of their masculine. So as an example, and oftentimes men pull women out of their feminine into their masculine, and women want to pull men out of their masculine into their feminine. They want them to feel, they want to know all of the things because femininity ultimately is always testing for, do you love me? Do you appreciate me? Are you here? Are you present? It's all a test. A perfect example of, let's say, a man and a woman. Femininity does not keep track of anything. Femininity very much lives in the now. Masculinity lives based off of the track, right? What has been said or done in the past. So as an example, let's say that a man wants to lead and he's been doing a perfect job at leading. But the moment that he's not able to do that, she's like, oh my God, does he love me? Am I safe? What's going to happen? What's going on? We're disconnected. All of these things are happening because she feels the now. Whereas he is very much like, I've been paying every bill. I've been showing up powerfully, but something happened and now there's a change. Look at my track record. And so what happens is he gets upset with her because he's like, don't you see all the stuff that I've done in the past? Instead of meeting her where she's at. True leadership is able to see that feminine energy is overreacting and saying, baby, I can understand that this is scary right now. And I'm really sorry that you feel that way. And I'm going to figure this out. But this is what has to happen right now. So instead of now, when you say, don't you see that I did the whatever? Now you're pulling her into her masculine. Oh, well, no, I don't see it. And you don't want to hear about before. I want to hear about right now. So I think when people understand that femininity lives in the now and masculinity almost lives via track record, both are trying to pull each other into something that they're not. So most women say that they want their man to lead, but don't feel comfortable to give it to him. That's just the reality for most people. Yeah. Men want women to be logical. Women want their men to be emotional. Right. And that goes against the nature of who we are. Of course. Honestly, for me, I feel like I'm far more logical than I am emotional, which is why I don't take things personal. Femininity takes things personal because everything is in the now. You said you were going to pick up the kids and now I have to go pick up the kids and get dinner. It's like, dang, I'm taking everything personal. Logic says, you know what? You forgot. I understand that you forgot. It's not your fault. You've had a long day. I've had a long day. I'm frustrated. You're frustrated. Let's make it better together. But most women are not logical. They're emotional. Right. We're wired that
way. Okay. Let's see, Mo, what you say? She don't need to know all that. You when you say that she don't need to know all that, you talking about the transparency versus honesty part. Yeah. I still I get it, but I still feel like, why do I need to tell Mo's business? Like if me, Mo, and Mike are about to hang out, why do I need to be transparent with all the details about what's going on? Mo, me, we all about to go head to the bar, chop it up a little bit, have a couple of drinks, shoot the shit or whatever. But Mo's got a couple girls coming or, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not, I don't know them girls. And I can get how it might look if you showed up at the bar and there's a bunch of girls there that Mo invited, not necessarily for me or for us, but, them some friends of his and she brought her girl or whatever. I can understand how that may look, but that's not my business. I have a problem with that because, of course, whether us being from the hood, the black community, it's just like snitching. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I got to tell you what Mo got going on? Like he's we all meeting at the bar, but he is also bringing some people with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I'm on the fence about that. Like, I also can understand if you showed up, like if you called me and say, hey, I'm about to come through. If I was like, no, we about to leave or whatever, and I'm trying to spin you, and then later on you find out the reason I didn't want you to come is because Mo invited somebody, I can understand that. But if that's not the case, I just again, I'm on the fence about the whole transparency thing. I understand it and I get it. I don't know if I'm necessarily agree with it all the time. Let me just say that. Let's see, Mo, you said I hear her. What do you mean? What you mean? You hear her, the sister? You agree with everything that she was saying about women being emotional, men being logical, and that some women don't always want their men to lead because they want to dictate how they're being led. When you said you hear her, what was it that you heard? All right, so we are getting close to the end of the show. I do want to play what we're going to talk about next week, just so you guys get a sense of what's going on. But don't forget, we can keep the conversation going. Continue to talk about it, share the information. Shoot, talk about it amongst your family members and friends. Tell me what they feel. They can leave comments on the as well. Keep the conversation going. Don't forget to share the information so that the channel grows, the conversation grows. We like different perspectives on the subject matter that we have here on the show. Let's argue. Don't forget hashtag I'm outside. Let's argue. Drop that in the chat window. If you have not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so for me. And also to the Facebook page. We're trying to get more likes and followers on that as well, so that we can, so on the Facebook page, we can actually stream live from that. Because right now it's coming from my personal page. I really want it to come from that particular page, but I need a certain number of followers in order to do that. So do that. So if you guys can help me out there in that regard, go to the Facebook page, Let's Argue, and subscribe, like the channel, become a follower, so that we can now stream live from the Facebook page and YouTube as well. With that being said, we're going to definitely get ready to close out. I appreciate everybody from coming on. If you are watching the Pistons game right now, drop the score for me real quick in the chat window. Drop the score of the Pistons New York Knicks game, or the New York, because we are at home in Detroit. Drop the score for me in the chat window. I need to know what the score is real quick before I leave. Drop the score in the chat window for me. Let me know what the score is. If you are watching the game and listening to this show, drop the score in for me. Let me know what the score is. Are the Pistons winning? The last time the score was put up, like the Pistons were down, it was like 101-91 or something like that. The Pistons were down. So I need to know what that score is. Let's hope the Pistons can pull it out and take it to a game 7, baby. We need to take it to a game 7, take it back to New York, right? Or are we at home? Where's game 7 at? Does anybody know where's game 7 at? All right, anyway, we're going to close it out. Don't forget, again, I did also put a code in here. If you guys are interested in the game, Lyrically Correct, I put the code in here for you as well. Let me drop that one more time before I exit stage left. Here's the code for the game, Lyrically Correct. And that's the link. And then let me give you the code. All right. So you can go to that, use that link, put that code in. You're going to get a 10% discount. All right, y'all. So I am going to go ahead and end it there. Hopefully there's still some left on the game. There's still some time left in the game, and we can, I can catch the end of the game. Hopefully the Pistons are up and doing their thing. Oh, so I did say I was going to play something from the next week's episode. Let me remove these other ones, and so you guys can get a sense of what we're going to be talking about next week. Is this it? I think this is it.
Shoot the messenger, but a lot of women only use their woman's intuition to tell them whenever their man is doing something wrong.
This is next week's
episode. If their man is lying, cheating, sliding in somebody's DM, entertaining somebody, that intuition kick in hella strong. All of a sudden, I had a feeling about something whenever he's doing something wrong. But why does it not work whenever that man's needs are not being met?
That part.
Why does that intuition not kick in whenever he's not happy? Whenever he's afraid to have a real conversation with you because you are police tone, and every time y'all have any kind of conversation that doesn't go your way. Where's the intuition whenever he needs a little bit extra attention?
Or when I need a lottery number.
Because he's having a rough time, because he's having some personal situations going on, and he may just need you to be there for him. Where's the intuition then? Why does it only work if he's doing something absolutely wrong? I ain't gonna hold you. Intuition can be like a superpower, but can we use it for good too?
Thank you. There we go. And this is the other one we're going to talk about next week. I think it's this one.
It's a lot of women who you will sit down and ask her, like, hey, like in your last relationship, like what role did you play in it going wrong?
Right.
And she'll look you dead in the eyes and say nothing. I did what I was supposed to do. He cheated.
Yeah.
Or I did what I was supposed to do. He neglected me.
Yeah.
Or whatever the case. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's something, but that speaks to the accountability of most women. And a lot of women lack accountability. And because of that, they continue to repeat the same.
A lot of women.
Yeah, let me, hold on. Let me make sure the mic is working. I said a lot of women lack accountability, and that caters to them constantly repeating the same mistakes.
That right there, what you said, a lot of women lack accountability. No. And I can say a lot of men lack accountability. Y'all cover up this and act like y'all's emotions just shut off. And the moment that a woman tell you about, y'all want to know so much about us. But the moment we tell you one thing about our past or about something that's very important to us, it's like, oh, she crazy. You know, like we closing that door as though everything has to be perfect. So I don't agree with that comment. A lot of women lack accountability. How about we address the men lacking your emotional state at the time that you're trying to get to know the woman? Like,
I think what you're doing is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Because again, I never said that men don't lack accountability. When you said it, I nodded. Yep, you're right. A lot of men do. But just the mere mention of a woman having something to work on made you feel a way. If you tell a woman that she needs to work on something, or you tell a woman that she's doing something wrong, you automatically go into defense, right? Or automatically like spin it back to what the man is not doing, or spin it back to what you did wrong. No. Sometimes you need to really just accept what that person is saying. Yeah, they may be wrong too, and we'll get to that. But right now we on you. Don't spin it back in my moment of telling you what you need to work on. And a lot of women do that.
All right, yeah. All right, so those are next week's episodes. We're going to talk about that, the accountability piece, and women's intuition. Why they don't use that superpower for good? Like, it's always negative. But anyway, we're going to end it right there. See y'all next week. Have a good one. Deuces.